Today on Geni's Way, I can't wait to introduce Maryna Kopeyko-Langlois, nutritional therapy expert, on how personalized integrative medicine and rebalanced nutrition help her recover from several health conditions, and how you can reduce dependence on medications, gain energy, lose weight, or enhance your fertility.
Hello, dear listeners. I want to welcome Maryna Kopeyko-Langlois, who is nutritional therapist and health coach. Maryna, can you tell people what really nutritional therapist? Who is nutritional therapist?
Hi, Geni. Thank you very much for welcoming you in your podcast. I really like what you do and excited to be here. I like your question, actually. It's a very important question to clarify for your listeners. Nutritional therapist, it's a health practitioner who generally studied for around 3 to 4 years, and it would be subjects like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and nutritional science that would be explored in depth. Nutritional therapist would understand how all these multiple molecules that we consume on a daily basis work inside our body, how our body uses them to build different cells, and the nutritional therapist would understand how to optimize all this complex biochemistry in order for us to be more efficient, to have more energy, and potentially to resolve some inflammations and conditions that we may have. So nutritional therapist protocols would involve providing people with some structured plans in terms of their nutrition. It would also include a review of exercise, food supplements, and some lifestyle rules that may impact the way how we digest, how we absorb our nutrients. So basically, we are looking at health holistically to optimize everything which is happening to our body on a daily basis. Does it answer your question?
That's very interesting because it sounds like you have to look at all the systems and figure out what pieces are either to add or subtract, almost like a puzzle.
Absolutely, yes. And this would be actually quite interesting because we are looking to understand multiple parameters that is involved in our body's functioning, or we call it homeostasis, the balance of different systems. And we try to understand what haven't worked properly, what triggered some imbalances, and how to put this puzzle together for the optimum functioning or to achieve this homeostasis.
And when we put the puzzle together, we will become more holistically balanced, and it will help us to achieve anything we want in life. It's just so critical, especially for entrepreneurs, busy entrepreneurs. I hear all the time, "Oh, I'm too busy. I just grab a meal here and a meal there. I don't have time to prepare for myself." But is that how you want to live your life? Eventually, it will catch up with you, and then what? You won't have energy to achieve your goals, to do the best you can be for you, for yourself, for your family, and for your business, for that matter. Maryna, what is the difference between medical doctor and nutritional therapist?
I'm very glad you asked, Geni. Yes, there is quite substantial difference in the way how medical doctor and nutritional therapist would work. So in our classical medical systems, whether it's US or UK or anywhere else, doctors would receive us for 10-15 minutes, in best case maybe 20 minutes, and they would look to understand what symptoms we have and prescribe some sort of medications or cream to resolve this issue. And if it didn't work, we would come back and we would seek for additional prescription, either the same or we would change if it was really not efficient. And this would go on. We would try to doctors would try to manage those symptoms. What nutritional therapists and other holistic practitioners do, we would, as I mentioned earlier, we would look at the human's body holistically, and we would aim to understand different areas in the body that may have some issues, the imbalances, inflammation, maybe some microbes, parasites that have caused this. We would aim to understand the root cause of this issue and find a solution to remediate to this root cause, to address this root cause, so that the symptom we experience, be it a headache or heartache or anything else, that they do not come back on a permanent basis. They would not be recurrent if we remove the root cause. And therefore, the consultation with a nutritional therapist would last for longer, because we need to gather a lot of information, not only about your food you consume on a daily basis, but about your lifestyle, about type of exercise, or maybe no exercise. But we need to understand the globality of things you do in your life and analyze it. So nutritional therapists would really take time, around 60 to 120 minutes, to see you, to gather this anamnesis, as we call, and then we would go away after the consultation and analyze through the latest research. At least the school I attended, they gave us very good skill in analyzing the information we get from the clients through research and understanding how these different nutrients and molecules can help us fight inflammation or also some bacteria or anything else that we can have if we have particular conditions in our body, be it arthritis, be it diabetes, or anything else. So after analyzing through recent research, we would build a plan which would be an integrative plan and personalized for this person's needs. It means it would involve restructuring of the person's diet with small steps. We start usually with some very basics changes that address the person's needs, and then we would go to more advanced steps later on, because we follow up the person and see how things change. We also address the lifestyle. We can recommend high quality supplements, but food supplements are not a major, I would say, focus for us, because a lot of things can be done through adjusting of the nutrition and the lifestyle. And obviously it would depend on the person's appetite to do some changes. So each plan I build, it's really tailored for each person, depending on their needs, on their desire to change, on their maybe temper, character, because I look at these aspects as well in line with traditional Chinese medicine. You know, we have very different natures. You can be of a cold or hot nature, or some others. So all these elements we integrate together and provide this plan, and we follow this plan up with the person to make sure that the person implements it and gets results. I would say this would be the major difference between classical medical doctors and nutritional therapists who come from functional or integrative medicine perspective.
Wow, what a big difference. Okay, listeners, you heard it. Can you expect a doctor in 5 minutes, okay, maybe 15, maybe 10 minutes, to give you a comprehensive plan? There's no way. Doctors do what they're best at. They will look at you, they will follow the protocol, and they will prescribe the pills or the lab work. But that's not enough to build a lifestyle that will lead you to ultimate health and well-being. You heard Maryna said this. She looks at everything. It's a very comprehensive plan that can set you up for success for the rest of your life. Maryna, I want to see if you can give listeners some simple technique that they can utilize every day on a daily basis. Something simple that they can either start their day or end their day or some combination of both.
Yes, absolutely. And the simpler the advice we give to clients, the easier it's to implement. Our objective is not to overwhelm people. My objective is to give really very easily manageable techniques so that people can easily implement them and gradually get to the next stage where we can go to more advanced practices. So we need to learn to walk before we can run.
So true. We don't expect the children to start running all of a sudden. So that's why when we make any changes, we don't expect ourselves all of a sudden to be lifting 100 pounds or whatever the case might be, or drastically changing your diet because you feel like you'll be starving yourself or depriving yourself rather.
Absolutely. Yes. So among this very simple advice that I give to clients would be things like start drinking beyond your meals, because when we drink during our meals, be it water or anything else, we dilute our digestive juices, which prevents digestion happening in an optimum way, because it dilutes our enzymes that are responsible for better digestion and absorption of our food. And if we do so, we diminish the capacity of the body to get quality nutrients from the food we eat. And knowing that we are not always able to eat the best quality food, so at least we should optimize the quality of our digestion. So it would be really mindful if people reduce this habit, which is very common, eating a lot during eating. It's a very simple thing to implement. You just need to be mindful. You can drink good quantities of water beyond meals, but not during meals.
That's an excellent point. Wow, I didn't know that until you start talking about it. That's very important to know. Something very simple. They can make a big difference.
It can, absolutely. Just try. Do not please expect changes to happen next day. These changes take a little bit of time for your body to adjust and show results. And what I love about integrative and this holistic approach is that results are gentle. There's no side effects, but results come gently, and they are so powerful that you cannot go back afterwards. You just want to go further and do more of good things. Another positive change that you can implement would be trying to relax before your meals. We are living in such busy world with so many commitments, all of us, between work, family, and other engagements we may have, businesses, etc. It would be really mindful if before taking our meals we could slow down, relax through doing, for example, breathing exercises. Many of you may know about abdominal breathing technique, which is very powerful. So doing this just before your meal for 3 to 5 minutes would put you in a state which is favorable for digestion. It would be a parasympathetic state, as we call it. And this state helps our digestive function and many other functions, by the way. But it would help digestion go in the way it should go without any additional stimulants. Isn't it beautiful?
It is beautiful. Breathing. We forget about breathing. That's so important, especially right before we start eating, because we have to put ourselves in a parasympathetic state, which aids our digestion. Wow. Simple yet miraculous almost.
It is. It is.
And what else you were saying? What was maybe one more for a listener?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would recommend starting paying more attention to the signals your body gives you. Just be a bit more mindful, because body all the time signals something to us. So if you have abdominal pain, it might be connected to excessive stress, or maybe you have consumed something that have triggered this situation. And obviously, if you do these connections, try just to avoid repeating the same situations. It's as simple as that. You may have a reflux, you may have migraines or headaches. There is always something that have triggered it, and if you do this analysis and find the links between cause and effect, you will start better understanding your body. You will become a friend for your body, and the master. So and if you find it's difficult for you, you can always get help and support from a trained professional who will explain you what different symptoms may mean, and will accompany you to do the right analysis and prevent the situation happening in the future.
That's a good thing. Thanks for those the simple tips that can make a huge difference. Maryna, what have you noticed as biggest misconceptions around health? What people think all the time, and you truly feel is it's misconceptions.
Yes, there are a lot of them in our modern society. It's true. I would highlight a few misconceptions, but I think that they are quite prominent. For example, thinking that somebody else, like a doctor, may know your body better than you do. To me, it's a serious misconception, because doctors, as we mentioned earlier, they do not have time to spend with us. Okay, the few minutes they spend with us focusing on a particular one or two symptoms, it's not enough to understand holistically what's happening in our life and triggering some changes in our body, producing those symptoms. Only us, through understanding cause effect, are able to have this capacity analyzing and understanding what's happening with our body. So as a continuation of my previous answer, I would encourage you just to start being more curious about your body, learning a bit more, and becoming your own doctor. I know it sounds challenging, but it is possible. If you cannot learn about your body, definitely not your doctor would learn everything about your specific conditions and your body. So I would say it's number one misconception. Another misconception is a lot of people do not really realize the extent how much our food, whatever we consume throughout the day, can impact our health. Hippocrates, over 2,000 years ago, said, let thy food be your medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And
let's contemplate on that. Let's have food to be our medicine. What does it mean?
Yes, if so many years ago people already realized that food is critical for our health, we probably should be more attentive to this concept. And I found that people sometimes take food just as an energy source. They do not pay attention what they're eating. They just need to eat because they feel hungry, and it doesn't matter for them what's in there in terms of the nutrients, what they can provide to them. They're just thinking of food of something functional, which is a shame, because each molecule we consume takes part in our complex biochemistry, takes part in building our enzymes, our hormones, and all our cells in the body to perform some particular complex functions. So if we do not provide the right molecules, those beautiful proteins, fatty acids, and the right carbohydrates, we would obviously struggle with production of the right cells and performing the functions accurately. And there is another misconception in this topic, if I may say, is that food should be very tasty, extremely tasty, and therefore it's good for us. You know, that these people who really focus on enjoyment in life, which is great. I'm not saying that food should not be enjoyable, but what I'm saying is that modern food industry, produces a lot of foods that are artificially enhanced in tastes. They put a lot of sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, salt, which is refined salt, some emulsifiers, some elements that are really irritating our digestion, that overstimulating our nervous system and causing inflammation. But it also causes a dependency. You know, refined salt and sugar, in the research, it's very well clearly identifying the link between inflammation and those components in the food. So if we find the food particularly tasty, it may mean that it contains too many enhancing agents, which are not really good for us.
Wow, that's an interesting point. That kind of makes me question, what about those fancy restaurants? Are they doing what they're supposed to help our health, or is it just bringing more things to enhance the flavor so we keep coming back?
Absolutely, Geni, you got it absolutely right. Even high-end restaurants, whether you eat in or do takeaways, unfortunately, it sounds like they are not in a position to do the full chain from the high-quality nutrients. I've recently experienced an outing here in London to a very high-end restaurant, and I decided to question the chef about the oils they're using in their kitchen, and they were a little bit embarrassed. They were not really understanding why I'm asking this question.
Only Maryna.
Yeah, I know that I put my family also in a not a very comfortable situation when I ask those questions, but I really want to understand whether pricey restaurants, they really do their job properly. Unfortunately not. They're using all those vegetable oils that should not be used for cooking, although maybe some nutrients are of a high standard. However, we as consumers cannot be sure at any point that all these nutrients are organic, are of the highest qualities. The only way for us to be sure that we are consuming the quality foods would be to source and cook them by ourselves. In this way, we would respect our body, would be in control, and we would give the best chances to ourselves to consume quality foods.
Well, that's an important point. I kind of wonder, what was that pivotal point that got you into nutritional therapist area of expertise?
Yeah, my personal experience in corporate world for over 15 years. I was an international project manager in the city of London, and trying to combine this with raising my family. At some point, I felt so exhausted that I was at the point of burnout. I had insomnia, and it was really a challenging moment in my life where I started to look for help. Usually I was in good health. I was not seeing doctors quite frequently, and this was the moment I started going in circles to see my doctors, and I was not seeing much help. They tried to prescribe.
Wow. So that's kind of what started everything. Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
So what would you say will be the key takeaways for you from this conversation? To me, it's being mindful, being responsible for your own health.
Yes, I think it would be the main takeaway. Be mindful about what your body tells you. Try to seek causes of your symptoms and understand the consequences. And be careful, because your body is your main resource. If we overuse this resource, we can be in a situation that it's very challenging to recover our health.
Wow, that's very important. I want to thank Maryna for coming. I appreciate your time, your expertise, and your wisdom. And don't forget all the things we talk about. Be mindful about what you eat and what you put in your body, and how you can empower yourself to be your best for you and your family. And we'll have all the links for Maryna, and ask her for her guidance when you feel like you need more help. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Geni. Thanks.
So, my key takeaways from today are that despite human bodies being sophisticated machines, we still can learn how to manage them to optimize health and enjoy life to the fullest. Health coaching by a nutritional therapist is an excellent support on your journey to optimal health. I'm glad that you could join me today, and I would love to hear your comments. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel. Until next time, see you!